Hey guys, Rob here with McDojo Life. In today's McDojo News, we're going to be discussing a martial arts instructor who groomed and sexually abused a 15-year-old girl, all while giving her enough cocaine to damage her septum. Let's check out the story. A twisted and perverted martial arts instructor who took advantage of a vulnerable teenage girl with alcohol and drugs before having sex with her has been jailed. Martin Yankee, age 37, from Hindley, housed and exploited the 15-year-old girl as she fled from her care and then foster parents before she was eventually found hiding in his kitchen cupboard. He had groomed and brainwashed her into thinking they were in a relationship, the court was told, with the pair having sex on numerous occasions. She didn't realize what had happened to her until she saw a documentary on grooming gangs, the court was told. During the period of abuse, which spanned 4 months, he gave her so much cocaine that the septum in her nose was left damaged, while she also suffered severe psychological harm, with the girl, now 19, suffering with post-traumatic stress disorder. A judge today said that he had shown absolutely no remorse as she jailed him for 13 years. Yankee met the girl in 2018, said Rachel Shinton, the prosecuting attorney in Manchester Crown Court, on Friday. Over a 4-month period that year, the girl went missing numerous times from the care home in Greater Manchester where she was being looked after. On one occasion, a taxi driver who dropped her at the house where Yankee was living in Atherton described him as looking a bit dodgy as he looked up and down the street before she went inside. On several occasions when she had been reported missing, police visited Yankee's address, telling him how old she was and showing him pictures of her, but he denied ever knowing her. However, it is now believed that she was likely hiding in the loft or a cupboard in the property. Due to the number of times she went missing, she was moved to foster parents out of the area, but the court heard within 10 minutes of her arriving there, Yankee arranged for a friend to pick her up in a white Range Rover. His crimes were uncovered when officers again attended his home in 2018. He insisted she wasn't there and complained to officers for repeatedly bothering him until she was found hiding in one of his kitchen cupboards. She told officers in a police interview that she thought they were in a relationship and that he loved her. However, she said on one occasion she lost an entire day due to her intoxication, and she said that she only realized that when she saw a Snapchat message she had sent the day before. "I carried on going around and getting off my head, which I thought was normal at the time," the girl said. I'm assuming that's slang for getting wasted. She said that she did not feel the relationship was wrong until she saw a TV program about grooming, Ms. Shinton said. In a moving victim impact statement, the girl said that she had been diagnosed with PTSD and had even on one occasion attempted to take her own life. "I do not think I will ever properly heal from the trauma," she said. "I don't think I will ever have what's considered a normal relationship. You have changed my life in all the worst ways." Yankee of Belmont Road, Hindley, pleaded guilty to child abduction, 2 counts of sexual activity with a child, 1 count of supplying a Class A drug, and 1 count of possessing an indecent image of a child. Joe Morris, the defending attorney, said her client had been suffering with psychosis around the time of his offending, which had been made worse by his drug use and the head injury he suffered in 2013. She said he had spent 56 days in a psychiatric hospital following the offenses. "It's not something he would have done had he been well. That's why he's never done anything like that at any other point in his life," she said. He had worked with young people at a gym in the Northwest for around 14 years, she added, and there were never any complaints about his behavior. She said that until police told him, he believed the girl was 17 years old, something the judge rejected, saying she believed that he had known her real age all along. The victim, who was present in court for sentencing, was visibly distressed as the facts of the case were read out, and she wept in the public gallery as the judge handed Yankee an extended sentence after ruling he is a dangerous offender. He was sentenced to 13 years in prison, of which he must serve 2/3 before being considered for parole, and he will have an extended license period for 2 years. Passing sentence, Judge Hillary Manley told Yankee, "You exploited and debauched a 15-year-old girl who was particularly vulnerable. It was a very troubled time in her life, and she was in the care of a local authority. And you were a 34-year-old man, more than twice her age. You had spent years working with young people as a martial arts instructor, and you have had to be well aware of the child's safeguarding issues." She said he had demonstrated the classic characteristics of grooming. "You were devious, selfish, and manipulative in your dealings with her and the police. Your attitude indicates that you've shown absolutely no remorse at all," she added. "You have no idea the damage you have done. It's because you are a manipulative and selfish man who sees yourself as the victim." The court heard Yankee now has a partner age 20, something the judge described as disturbing, saying it showed that he had a continued interest in relationships where there was a significant age difference. Speaking after the case, Detective Inspector Neil Lawless said, I hope this sentence brings some closure for the victim. I would like to thank her for her bravery in coming forward. Yankee groomed and manipulated a vulnerable young girl, and I hope his time in prison is spent reflecting upon his disgraceful behavior. We always take reports of this kind of crime extremely seriously. We'd encourage anyone who feels they have been the victim of such offenses to get in touch with the police. I would also like to thank Vicki Flinning and Rachel Forsyth, who have both worked tirelessly to bring this case to court. Covering these stories is never fun, but I think that it's extremely important to make sure that this information gets out there and people see this man's face, to be aware that in 13 years, this guy's going to get back out of jail, and the martial arts industry has no regulating body. So there's a good chance that this guy might actually open up another martial arts studio again down the road. It's possible. It's happened before, and hopefully it doesn't happen again, but it is possible. I had a bit of an epiphany today. We have about 800,000 followers worldwide right now between Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and the various other social medias. With that said, that means that within the people who even follow McDojo Life, there are people out there right now who are going to be sexually abusing students, who are going to be pedophiles, who are going to be doing things that we speak out against all the time. So maybe these stories have a little bit of a different impact than I've ever really thought about before. Maybe there's somebody out there right now who watches this story and sees this guy getting busted, and sees all the other stories of all the other people who've been busted. And they're right now in the middle of possibly molesting or might molest someone in the future. Maybe they see this video and they make a second guess about what they're about to do. Maybe it stops them. Maybe they have a second thought and they go, you know what? This is wrong. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe. Or maybe they're just like everybody else and thinks they won't get caught. But if you do, I promise your ass right now, you will end up on this page and I will make sure the world finds out about you. I would like to know your thoughts in the comment sections below. As always open to open dialogue. Thank you all for all the memberships and all the subscribers. We just hit 50,000 followers, so pretty excited about that. I will have to say that without you guys, we wouldn't exist, so I truly appreciate you. All the members, by the way, you guys have been amazing. We've just been getting tons of memberships, people who have been donating to the page. You're actually getting something for that, but what's happening is the more people that we have that become members, the more time, effort, production value, and things that we can put back into the page, so I appreciate that. Keep the martial arts legit.